and welcome back to Book Buzz with Janet Payne, a podcast where we talk about romance books, our current reads, and we also have the pleasure of sitting down with some of our favorite authors and chatting with them about their amazing books.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It felt like a hot minute. I don't think we've done like a solo catching up, up to like what we're currently doing for a little bit. But we've had so much fun doing these author interviews. And it's so funny. I keep thinking back of when we started the year. We're like, we're going to do one interview like a month or every other month. And we've done like 4 back to back. But it's been super fun. I enjoy it. I mean, I've been reading so many amazing books lately from these authors that we've interviewed. So it's been amazing. And just real quick, today it's going to be more of a catching up, letting you guys know what we've been reading. And also I want to get into the topic of, should you leave an honest review when you finish a book, even if you did not enjoy the book like you thought you would? I have mixed feelings about that. So it's going to be fun getting into that because I do want to know your opinion and I want to know others' opinions. I mean, it's something that I'm curious about. So we're going to be getting into that. Also, we do have some new author interviews coming up. So make sure you keep an eye on our social media because we're going to be announcing that very soon. And we are narrowing down on our book box.
Yes.
We'll go more into that later before we finish this episode. But let's dive into the books we read. I've read a lot, and then I feel like I haven't read a lot. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, I read a lot, and then I don't remember most of the titles. Like, I have it on my Kindle, obviously. I remember if I open up my Kindle, but I can't remember at the top of my head.
But I feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like I read a lot. But I know I've read a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys know the titles, and I'll go a little bit into detail about what the book's about. But I won't get too much into detail about it in case you guys want to read it. I will say, I know we interviewed Kay Tucker last week, and we did talk about Running Wild a little bit. But can I just say that book is, I mean, when I finished it, I cried. Yeah. That one is a unrequited love. It's, you could say, new beginning, taking a chance. It's a broken hero, a heroine who's trying to find herself, trying to, overcome how people see her. And I loved it. I loved it so much. It's, when I started it, I didn't know how it was going to go, just because, again, it was what the book was about was something new to me. I had never read a book about somewhere in Alaska about, the Dog Sled Race. Yeah. It was very different, yet it's everything that I love in a book. So definitely pick that up. It is part of that series, the Wild series. But like we mentioned in our last podcast with Kay Tucker, the first 3 books are the same couple. So you do have to read that one in order. But this one is a standalone. So if you want to skip those, you can read this one. I recommend reading the other one so you can know more about Marie. I love her. T. Marie and Tyler. And so I read that, loved it. I read Oaths and Omissions by Sav R. Miller. Oh my God, it was so good. That is a mafia, dark romance, alpha hero. And it was phenomenal. That one is the 3rd book in that series, but each book, again, can be read as a standalone. I don't want to dive too much into it because I do want everybody to read it. But it is, Sav had me on the edge of my seat. I literally said, I'm just going to read the prologue really quick. And next thing you know, it was like 2 a.m. and I was finishing the book. So, yeah. But it is a really good book. Definitely pick it up. It's very different, you could say, in the mafia world. It's, fake relationship. You could say enemies to lovers. It's the families hate each other. It's really, really good. I loved it. I love the hero. I loved him so much. He's gold. Like, it's so funny because they're like, he's like, I don't want anything to do with you. But then he goes all alpha. Our favorite. So definitely pick that one up. I love Sav Miller's books, but that one I do have to say it has to be my favorite. I also read Devil's Redemption by Natasha Knight, which is the second book in that series. So this one picks up right where I left off, the first one, which is Devil's Paw. And I was on the edge of my seat. I will say I did love the relationship that the heroine had with the hero's daughter.
Yes.
They were both so protective of each other. So if you read the first book, you know what's going on, like how the book left off. In case you haven't read that duet and want to read it, I'm not going to spoil it much, but it does pick up right where the first book left off. So you do have to read the first book. So don't pick up the second book if you haven't read the first book. All I will tell you is that it will keep you on your edge of your seat. Okay, so I read this one a little bit ago, but I didn't really talk about it. I read Last Result by Kay Bromberg. I love that book. That one releases next week. It's a 3-book series, but each book is a standalone. So it's a series of brothers. So it's 3 brothers, so 3 books. Last Result is the first one, and it's an enemies to lovers, you know, and it was very different for me because Christy has written, I don't think Christy has ever written something based like in an island.
Okay.
So that was very different for me because, I don't know, I feel like each author has their way of describing where the story takes place.
Yeah.
So that was very new to me because Christy has never done an island. So I was so excited for it. I loved it. I'm dying for the second book. Plus, I really do love the cover. Love the cover. I won't go into that one too much, but like I said, it is an enemies to lovers. It's an alpha hero. And I do think it's very steamy. So if you like steamy books, definitely pick it up. I loved it. Well, I'm currently better reading one that I can't talk about, but all I would say is I wanted Latinx books and I finally got it. Like, I'm loving it. I need more books with like a Latina heroine or a Latino hero. Like, come on, authors, please. I need it. I did read The Casanova finally by Teal Swan.
Finally.
It took me forever, and I don't know why, because it became like my favorite book of that series. It was very... So that one is a enemies to lovers, office romance. It was very sexy, steamy, funny. The way they like hated each other in the beginning. And it was like mysterious too. Because there's one like thing going on from the right beginning. You read The Takeover. At the end of that book, so there's a scene that happens. And when you read The Casanova, it kind of starts off that way. To where you're still asking yourself the same question that you were asking yourself when you finished the Takeover. So it has a little bit mysterious on it. So I would say that he broke my heart. He like, if you love a story where a hero does something that pisses you off and makes you cry, this book is for you. I was like, don't do it.
I know.
And he did it.
I was sad too.
But it was a really good. I loved it. I will say it is my favorite from the series, but I still love the first book so much. And I love the second one because of the kids.
Yeah.
which do show up in this book again, and it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep.
But I need to read Dr. Stanton
Yeah.
and Gym Junkie. So I'm hoping to read those next week. I have some arcs in my Kindle that I'm trying to finish this week.
Yeah.
But I want to read those like soon. Everybody talks about Dr. Stanton and Gym Junkie.
Everyone loves Dr. Stanton. Like,
it's a single parent, right?
It's a secret baby. So yeah.
My type of jam. My type of jam. So I read that one. I also finished reading, and I read this one a while ago, but I can't talk about it. I read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. It's a young adult becoming of age, you can say. It's a enemies to lovers, but I don't really see it as enemies to lovers, just because when they do get together, it happens really fast. Yeah. But it is amazing. It is I think it sets you off. It sets off the storyline and like the family line to Perry's book. The first book comes out in April, I think. I think that's what I saw. Yeah. I think towards middle of April. It's a high school romance. So yeah. I love YA, guys. So you guys know. And I love the way Monica writes them. So I'm definitely pick it up. You're gonna love it. I feel that I read more, but I can't remember. But I read The Billionaire, but we did talk about that one a little bit when we talked with Marnie. Yep. I have several arcs in my Kindle right now. I have The Potter. Well, that was not really an arc. It's more of I want it. It was delivered in my Kindle, but I'm trying to read it. I also have Love You Always by Ava Hunter. That was part of her series. I have Last Resort by Mother Wilde. I have Beauty and the Baller by Ilse Madden Mills. And I have Say It's Forever by A.L. Jackson. But I have those in my Kindle right now. I do have Ivy by Will and Ash too. I didn't know that. That was released in, I forgot what type of platform first, in Amazon.
Kindle Villa.
Yeah. I haven't been able to read it.
Yeah.
But I do have sort of the Kindle ARC version in my, well, I have the ARC version in my Kindle. And I am going to start reading that one.
I didn't read it because on Kindle Villa, then it's one chapter a week. So I was like, oh, heck no, I ain't going to wait and die of the waiting just to read the next episode. So I didn't read it.
So I'm going to be reading that one. So I have several books in my Kindle. Like I said, right now I'm currently better reading book, which is a Latinx book, which I am loving. There's so many coming out recently from authors I've never read, but reviews of those books are really good. But I have a feeling they're all going to be a third person. I don't know why. Which, if I want to read them, might as well read them. I don't mind third person. Yeah. I read Bridgerton. Bridgerton wasn't third person. So, and I do have to read the second Bridgerton book.
Yes, the Viscount Who Loved Me.
The second season drops on Friday, and I'm so excited. I used to say I wasn't excited, and now I'm excited.
I'm still not really excited. I'm still really sad.
Not coming back.
Girl, the part that I got really excited in the trailer was seeing Baby Bassett.
The only thing that I'm very not uncomfortable, but I'm just I guess kind of confused. And I'm just what? So the sister of Kate looks super young for Anthony. She looks really, really, really young. So I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, why is he going after this really, really young girl?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, and then it's sort of like a love triangle between siblings,
Yeah.
the two
Girl.
sisters and Anthony.
Girl, it's forbidden. It's age gap. You know.
Well, you know, I don't like age gaps, sort
Hey,
of.
you've been reading it.
I've been reading age gaps. Can you
Yeah.
believe that? This year has been an age gap year.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's weird. Like, to
Yeah.
me, I still don't understand why he is going after a young girl. Or how old is she supposed to be in the show?
I have no idea. That's why you have to watch and find out. I
I
don't know.
really wanted to read the book before the show. I
Yeah.
kind of want to watch the show so I can enjoy it and I won't be
Yep.
comparing stuff to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I did that. Like, I remember when the Breaking Down Part 2 released, the huge like plot twist in the end of the second one. Literally, when it happened, the first thing that I literally screamed was, that didn't happen in the book. So I don't want to go into, like, I hate comparing.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch it first.
Yeah.
And then go back and read it.
Yeah.
So I think I'll probably do that. So I'll be doing that Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. If I remember more books, I'll say it in our next podcast. But I've read a lot. I will say I've read a lot. I did, after our interview with Kate Tucker, I did go and read 2 of her other books, which was The Player Next Door. That one made me cry, girl. The Second Chance, Enemies to Lovers, Single Parent. It was so good. I loved it. And I read another one by her. I think it's Until It Fades. Yeah, it was Until It Fades. Loved it. But they both made me cry. You need to
Well, her books, I feel like just reading Running Wild, like she mentioned how she wanted to be like, it really happens in real life, like a reality. And so I'm pretty sure her books are very emotional.
Well, The Player Next Door, like, it's relatable. Like, it hasn't happened to me, but you do hear about these sort of situations and cases. So it's totally relatable. And I did want to read this other book. I forgot the name of it by her. But I have all these arcs, so I can't really read it right now. So I'll catch up to those books later. Yeah. But I do want to read her fantasy one next.
Yes.
I'll get into that one next week or something. But yeah, so far that's all I read. Again, if I remember more, I'll say it next week.
Let's see. I feel like I've read a lot, but at the same time, it's been a hot minute since we talk about the books that we've read. So I really don't remember which one I've read. I just finished reading Ruthless Rival by L.J. Shin. And guys, I can't get enough of this couple. I won't talk much about it because it's not releasing until May. They seriously gave me all the feels, and I love them so much. Another one that I read, I'm pretty sure I talked about it, Always Been You by Q.B. Tyler. It was released as a novella first, and now it's a fully novel book, and it's a interracial, adopted siblings, and age gap, and it is steamy. Like, seriously, I think I say it every single time. Q.B. Tyler's books are steamy, and she writes steamy scenes. It gets steamier and steamier every single time she writes a book. So I highly recommend this book. I love Forbidden, obviously. And then that one. And then, yes, I also read, we did talk about Running Wild with K.A. Tucker. And that book, guys, it's a must read. Like, that book, if you love unrequited love books, you will love this book. And even if you don't love unrequited love books, you should still read it. It is amazing. It is definitely something new for me. Like the Dog Sled Race. oh my gosh, I seriously, after we did a interview with K.A. Tucker, I went on YouTube and researched and watched the races. And at the end of the race, I was so happy for the winner.
You know, I've only seen that happen in Balto, the cartoon movie. But it sounds, I don't know, like I guess I remember I read an article about it, and there was like, it's like it was a do you agree, do you not agree kind of article where you know, do you think the dogs are being mistreated? Do you blah blah blah? So I don't know. It's a tricky one for me.
Yeah, it is, because like they are going out in the snow, running. It's like poor doggies. Yes. But at the same time, that's what they love doing, no?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. People have different opinions about it, but it was really cute seeing those dogs run.
And they're so adorable.
Yeah. Like they actually have, I don't know what they call it, but their paws are like wrapped. So that's probably to protect their paws since they're running in the
so
snow.
They don't get frost bites and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cute seeing those that race. And then I don't remember if I talk about The Bully by Willa Nash, but it is amazing. I think I've said it, but it's my favorite one from the series. Like, I love Cal. Like, Nellie gets on my nerves a few times, but I am protecting Cal. Like, I love Cal. So it's an enemies to lover, and I kid you not, it totally was not what I was expecting.
Oh, that's what I literally told her. I was like, what I thought this was going to be about was 100% not what it was about.
Yep. I was like, wait, I thought, I'm not going to say much about it, but it is, if you think you know what was going to happen, you thought wrong, because it's totally not like how you would think it would happen for an enemies to lovers. Yeah. And I definitely love it. And yes, I also read Devil's Redemption by Natasha Knight, and I have to say Natasha Knight is the queen, all caps, queen of mean alpha male hero. I don't know, her heroes, when she writes a mean hero, they are amazing every single time. Even though I get mad at them sometimes for being too mean, I seriously still love the hero. And I don't think I remember posting on my IG story asking who is the meanest hero that you've read. And I don't think anyone can beat Santiago. Like, I still haven't read anyone that's as mean as him. So if you do know a book hero that's really mean, please leave it down in the comments below. I would want to read it. And I also read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. And guys, I don't really read YA. I don't really like YA. I think it's because I feel like I'm too old to read YA, that at times I get really annoyed, since they're so young and naive at times. But Monica Murphy does an amazing job at writing YA. Like, 2 books that I've read from Monica Murphy are both YA, and I love them both, which is weird because I usually get annoyed by YA books. So, but these 2, The Things I Wanted to Say but Never Did, and A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, are both YA, and I love them so much. I love Crew and Ren. Like Jan said, at the beginning it kind of come off as a bully romance. Enemies to lovers, but then it seriously transitioned really fast to them to be friends
and lovers.
Which I love, that they actually kind of build that friendship a little bit more before they even dive into other things, because she's a virgin and I love a virgin book.
I thought that book was going to be different, but I loved it. I feel for like Monica J. McLean. McLean are like my favorite YA authors, hands down. I love to cry, and I feel like I always cry more when it's a YA.
Really?
I'm like, bastards.
Well, another one. I felt like I caught up with all my arcs, and then I've been wanting to read more of Nicole Fox books, her mafia books, and I picked up Ravaged Crown. And this hero, he was mean too. He was quite mean. Like, I seriously, like, the things he said to her, like, at times I feel like she doesn't really have a backbone, the heroine. And I feel like at times I was like, girl, please stand up for yourself more. Like, she gives in too easy to him. Like, at times I was like, ugh, I really want to strangle her. But at the same time, I really like the hero too, because he is a jerk. And there's a huge twist, but I was still surprised, even when I was thinking that it was going that way, and it did. And I was like, oh my gosh, he was a jerk for not telling her the truth. She's a married woman, and she caught her husband cheating on her, sleeping with his coworker. And so she was like, okay, I'm done being married to you, just being a doormat to you. And so he wouldn't let her work. And so she said she's done. And so she finally went out and go find a job. But there was no job opening. So she went through an agency where they will find a job for her. She would just go and work that day and then maybe a different job the next day. And so she was a waitress. And that's where she met him, the hero, at the restaurant. And seriously start out with a bang. Like, they literally slept together at the restaurant. And I was like, oh my gosh. But so I was like, dude, she gave in too easy to him. But at the same time, I can't stop reading the book. Like, I get annoyed.
Is he mean?
Yeah, he's pretty mean. Like, the things he say to her is not even nice. Like, he's always it's like, what? It's like, the things he say is mean. Like, seriously.
The way you said it sounded, you're like so confused.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, he's so mean to her, but like, why the heck is she agreeing to sleep with him?
Hey, it's something about that bad boy. It's like us. We hate, we get so mad, but we love to read a bad boy.
Yeah, but this is kind of different. If you read it, you will understand. Because she literally was like, the things he said really hurts, right? But she's always like, oh, okay, can we please have sex? Like, she will always initiate it. Like, bro, he literally said some mean thing to you like 2 minutes ago, and you give in so fast.
Bad. Did you finish it already?
I finished the first book. I still need to read the second one.
Does she end up sticking up for herself at any moment, though?
One part, she did got away from him a few times, which I was like, I'm proud of her that she actually was able to do that. But at the same time, I just want her to stand up a little bit more for herself.
Just like, yeah. I love a heroine that, caves once or twice, but still deep down, it's like, knows when enough is enough and knows worth.
Mm-hmm. Like, I seriously really want her to make him jealous. Obviously, we love a bad boy hero, but there are times when it's too much that you really want the heroine to do something a little bit at the edge and to make the hero jealous. Yeah. But
is it a duet?
Yeah, it's a duet. I'm behind on my arcs again, so I haven't read the second book. I've read that one, and then I am pretty sure a lot of us died waiting for Ferreira. And Ferreira, it was not what it was what I expected, but the ending was not what I was expecting. And I love everything about it. Like, I love Giuliano. He is one of my top favorite book boys now. Him and obviously Tristan. Them both. I love them both so much. And so, like, the things Giuliano did, it was, how would you say, he was quite mean to her. Well, but it was also because he was just trying to stay away from her because they are like half siblings.
They're so, man.
half siblings. So yeah, we're not gonna spoil it, the book, but the ending, oh my gosh, I am dying for the next book in the series.
I will say though, because I did read the Italian before reading the Bromberg, I read that one too. I do recommend people reading the Italian first though.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yep. Because you will understand, like if you just start diving into Ferrera, you will not understand the kind of like the mafia vibe behind the full story. So
and also you won't understand the feeling
of
the ending.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I love that ending.
So it's like I feel like, yeah, it's a standalone, but I would 100% recommend you read the Italian first.
Yeah. Totally agree. So yeah, those are the books that I've read, and I'm currently reading Last Resort by Amelia Wilde. And then the arcs that I have are What Lovers Do by Jewel E. Ann, also Last Resort by Kay Bromberg, Say It's Forever by A.L. Jackson, and The Beauty and the Baller, and like I feel like there's one more. Well, there's like a few more from NetGalley, but oh my gosh, I've been dying to read The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert because I'm on her Patreon page. So I actually got the book like last month, I believe, but I'm on her ARC team now, so it's kind of like, I'm not sure if you will consider it as an ARC review anymore because I did got the book last month. But yeah, I've been dying to read that one also. It's like weird. He's a dragon. So I don't think I've read any books like that yet. I don't think so. So I am really curious as to how that's gonna go. So yeah, those are what I'm gonna read for this month.
I've been dying to read other books that have been on my TBR forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been wanting, I know you said you read Ruthless Rival. I do have that because I know she sent us the paperback.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to read it, so hopefully after my arcs I'll read that one.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. But I want to talk about, I guess this is for me, like I'm very like genuinely like curious to what you think and what others think about reviews. Mostly about negative reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a certain point to where you can be polite and respectful, but still be honest with your review. And then, you know, there's just being nasty and you being just really mean and saying about a book. Like, I get it, you don't like it, but there's no need to be nasty. Then my thing is, it's like, should you be honest in your review and leave your review? Or should you just not review if you don't like it?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest. I've recently finished a book. I didn't like it. It was an arc. I didn't like it. And it's like, I want to rate it a 2-star.
Yeah.
But then I feel bad because it's like, like, is that really mean? But it's like an arc. It's, you know, you're supposed to be honest with your review. But it's like, how honest can you be? Because, okay, let's say you're in this author's arc team. How honest can you be and them not agree with your rating? Like, is it fair for them to like kick you out?
Well, to me personally, I don't think if you are on the ARC team, and I seriously think if it's just one book that you did not like while you were on the art team, if it's just one book, it's definitely not okay to kick out person on the team, because it's like, it is their honest opinion. But if it's been like 3 or 4 books that you haven't liked since you were on the review team, and from all the books that the author released, and if you haven't been liking 3 to 4 books,
then maybe
you take yourself out. Who cares if they like, if you don't like it, then why the heck will you still be in it? Like, I'm confused too. If you don't like it, why would you continue to be in a team that you haven't been liking the books?
Yeah,
that's what I would think.
Well, I mean, it's also like, the way I see it too, it's like you're taking away an opportunity of a reader who actually enjoys that type of book.
Yeah.
You know, be an ARC reader.
But
also, like, and I ask again, like, do you think it's okay for you to go in there and rate a book, let's say a 2-star, and be honest with your reader? And when I mean honest, I don't mean like, oh, I hate this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, this is what I expected from the book. This is what I was told the book was about. I dove into it, and it's not complete. Like, it is not at all what I expected. It is not what the author described. Like, is that acceptable?
So for me, I don't really sign up for arcs that I know I will not like. Especially if it's a new author to me. And so I don't really leave a 2-star rating or a 1-star.
Okay, but what if you were, I wouldn't say lied, but what if you were not given the information, the correct information about what the book was about?
Well, I've only had one time, which it happened, let's see, I signed up for the ARC, and it was, I don't remember the name of the book, but it was a trilogy. It was not promoted as a trilogy. And it, like, I totally thought it was going to be a standalone, because the first book.
Girl, no, the way it happened, it was the first book ended, and they never told anybody that there was a second book. And then after the second book came out, they never told anybody it was actually a trilogy.
Yeah, because the first book in the series, which was Heartless Hero by Mary C. I'm totally going to butcher it, but I will pronounce it Gebhard.
I thought it was Gebhard.
Sorry for mispronouncing it, but the first book I loved, Heartless Hero. I love that book. And I was dying for that second book, and then ended up ending in a dang cliffhanger. I was like, wait, was this ever announced that was going to be a duet? And so I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to read it, because I didn't like that book. And so I was like, Jan, you can read it and let me know. And then you read it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, it ends in a cliffhanger again. Yeah. I was like, I don't remember it being announced that it was going to be a trilogy. And so I was like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna even bother reading it, because the way how you were describing it to me, I was like, nope, I'm not gonna like it, so I'm not gonna read it. And so I seriously think authors do have to be honest. Like, it's not hard being honest about what the book is going to be about. Because if you're not honest, and when it was unexpected, people will get mad. And there are some people that can get really nasty about it. Like, there will be some people who's like, okay, well, whatever, I don't care. But there will be some who will be so mad to the point that they were literally, how would you say it? It's not really bullying, but they are just venting out their anger. And so, and it can get really nasty to the point that it does really look like it's bullying.
Well, I do remember like that whole situation. It's like, and I do agree the whole, you know, if it's a book, it's going to be part of a series, you know, like a duet or a trilogy. I do wish, and to be honest, like all the authors that I read, that I know already. I know when their book is a trilogy. And it's not because they tell me, it's like, they tell you in advance, they tell the readers in advance, and also you know the writing. Wait, it's like Amelia Wilde.
Yeah.
She never writes a standalone.
So she did at first. Like
at first, now she doesn't. And it's like, diving into the first book to get ready because there's going to be a cliffhanger. Yeah. So it's like, because you've read several of their books, which author, but if you're an author promoting a book that is a standalone, and then it turns out that, oh no, it's really a trilogy, but you don't tell the reader, it is upsetting. And I remember when that happens, like the reviews were very negative. Yeah. But I do believe that people have a right to express themselves, if they did like a book or if they didn't like a book. And they shouldn't be scared as of, I'm going to get kicked out of an art team if you're in an art team, or you're going to never be picked for an art from a PR company. Yeah. So I'm not going to mention the book that I finished reading because I'm not going to get into that. But like, I truly do want to give it a 2-star. And it's not because, okay, the way it was promoted, the way it was described, like, it was not at all, like, so much more happened in the book that I wished would have been announced before they had, like, an ARC sign up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I was prepared for certain scenes that they said, but it had really uncomfortable, gross scenes. If I would have known those scenes were in there, I would have not signed up for it. And it's not that I signed up through a PR. Like, I'm in an ARC. It's an ARC team. Yeah. So it's like, so it's very, I don't know. It's very, in my opinion, you just like you want readers to leave an honest review, you should be transparent too. And be like, this is what's in the book, and it's up to you if you want to sign up or not. Yeah. Like, don't just bullet point certain scenes that you think are fan favorites that others don't. Yeah. Bullet point other scenes that are maybe are still fan favorites, but are less mentioned. And mention those because, other people might not find them entertaining or amusing. Like, to me, I found those scenes very uncomfortable and very, disgusting. like, to be honest with you, like, I didn't like it. I ended up skipping, 2 chapters because I'm like, this is making me very uncomfortable. Yeah. It's the first book I've read that's made me very uncomfortable. So it's like, I don't know, like, if I go on Goodreads and I'm going to say, this book, I wish the author would have said this and that. Like, I didn't like it. It wasn't my cup of tea. It made me uncomfortable because it 100% did. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It just made me uncomfortable. Like, is that acceptable? Is that too mean?
Well, to me,
because if people could go in a book and say, I love it, why can I go in there and say I didn't like it? Yeah.
In my opinion, since you are on the art team, and if you don't like it, wait at least a week until submitting the review. So, and just be honest about, like, for me, if I don't like a book, I will not write a long review about it. I will write maybe,
I don't like it, not my cup of tea.
Yes, pretty much just say it's not my cup of tea, and if you like it, then you do you, but if you don't like it, then it's okay. And if you get kicked out from a team for leaving a book 2-star, then I think it's a little bit petty. For
but
getting kicked out.
Honest is too honest.
Well, just don't be like venting out on the review, because that's not a review. That is just.
But okay, and I agree. But then also, why can a reader go into a review and talk about how much they loved it, and that's okay, but a reader can go in there and say why they didn't like the book?
Because that is literally spoiling the book.
Well, not really, because if you're not giving too much details,
I would consider it spoilers. Well, at least tag saying that there are spoilers in this review, because the things that you say you don't like, then people is gonna know that, okay, so this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. So that is pretty much spoiling the book to people who don't want to read spoilers.
But you're also spoiling it if you're saying that you love it. Like if you're saying, I love this book because of how much the hero fought for the heroine when they were blah, 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 blah. You're like, okay, so this happens.
So, well, obviously, most books, the hero do fight for the heroine. So if they don't fight for the heroine,
not all the books. Not all the books.
Really? Which book have you read that the hero haven't fought for the heroine? See?
I think. But I agree. Like, I think honesty can only be so much before it's rude. I agree, but I do also wonder, like, how much is too much?
Yeah.
What's, like, how much is enough? Well, it's the same thing, like, how much is too much? So that's, like, I think that's my question. Should readers, do they have the right to be 100% honest? Without being mean. If you didn't like a book, don't go in there and be like, this is the worst book I've ever read, the author, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, that's rude. No. What I mean is going in there and saying, this wasn't my cup of tea, and you rated like a 2-star, and say, this book made me uncomfortable. Like, is that acceptable?
I would just leave it at that. I remember, I hardly ever DNF a book, and I think I've mentioned on the podcast there before that I think I've only DNF one book, which was a book by Alessandra Torre.
Was it the Vow book?
Yeah, that one. That was the only book that I've ever DNF, and it was because the heroine was like really contradicting herself, and I was annoyed, so I DNF that book. I don't remember if I leave a review for it or not on Goodreads, because I didn't like it.
But my thing is, why is it okay to leave a review when you like it, but not okay to not leave a review when you don't like it?
Well, the thing is, like, before, I believe it was called The Play. Was it The Play by L. Kennedy? The 4th book in the Briar U series. And you guys know I love L. Kennedy hockey series. I die hard love that series. But then I believe it was The Play, the 4th book. And I ended up giving that book a 3-star, while I love the other books. And I have to force myself to finish that book. Like, I listed spoilers to say, okay, my 2 main thing why I didn't like the book was these 2. But I didn't go into like huge details, like blah, 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 because I know there are people on Goodreads that will list tons of things that they don't like. But
just like posting like the bullet points, like, yeah,
like I don't see a point of leaving all the
details.
Yeah, because I have my time is precious. Okay, time is precious, and so I'm not gonna leave a really long detail for a book that I do not really like. And then that one was not an arc, so I left that as a 3. And then another one, I think I mentioned it before too, and this one was on arc team, and I ended up giving it 3 stars also because it was totally not how I expected the story to go. Because, okay, it was never like it was never mentioned that it was going to be like a love triangle. It was mentioned that it was a small town, single parent or a secret baby. I don't remember, but it was never promoted as a love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And I read it and I was like, what in the world is going on here? I was like, I don't remember seeing this. And so I ended up giving the book a 3-star. Like at the same time, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't like the heroine. And so I seriously think if you want to leave a review, go ahead. Just know that an author is also a human, and they work hard in those books. And just to tear down an author for writing that book, I don't agree with it. So if you don't like a book, just go ahead, leave the rating. You don't even need to write a review. Just do the stars and then move on with your life. Like, I don't know. That's just my honest opinion.
I will say I kind of disagree on you on that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're paying for a book,
Mm-hmm.
if you're taking your time to read it,
Mm-hmm.
I think you should leave your review, because at the end of the day, it's your opinion.
I'm not going to.
Because why are you only allowed to leave positive reviews?
Mm-hmm.
Like a book isn't honest. If I'm going into the website looking for a book, I should be able to look at the pros and the cons.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I only looking at the pros?
Well,
I agree. Like, you shouldn't go in there and bash the author, because that's what they love to write.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that people should go in there and, like you said, add the spoiler tab.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go into details like, in this scene, this happened, and then word everything that happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you say, I didn't like the cheating, I didn't like the whatever, like, you know what I mean? But not go too much into details. Like, I think readers have, I do think readers, they have the decision going in there and writing their review if they liked it or not.
Yeah.
Because a book, I mean, that's what it's, an honest review. Why am I going to go look for a review when all it has is positive ones?
Yeah.
Does that mean that other people's opinions don't matter if you didn't like it?
Well, that's why I said, to me, personally, I will not waste my time writing a review. Like I said, time is precious. And there are even times when I don't really have time to write a review for a book that I like. Like, it would take me 2 to 3 days later, because obviously we all work and life gets in the way at times that you don't have time to leave reviews. And if I don't like a book, I think leaving a star is okay, because I don't even read reviews nowadays, because it's so toxic on Goodreads that I don't even go read reviews anymore. So that's why I would just leave my review and click out of it, because like I said, I don't pick up a book because of reviews anymore. I pick up because the tropes are the tropes I like, and the authors that I like, then I'll pick it up and read. But I do not go on Goodreads and read reviews anymore, because it's really toxic with all those reviews that people leave.
Because I do think, like, I do agree. Like, I think nowadays people are losing focus and going after the wrong thing and rating a book for the wrong thing. Like, I've seen so many stuff, like, they did it to, and I'm going to say the name, and that's because I love this author, like Cora Riley. They were rating her book a 1-star when it wasn't even released, and they were writing bad reviews. And it's like, how can you, like, right there, like, you should not go on on Goodreads and review a book you haven't read just to bash the author. Like that. Like, if you don't like it, don't even go into the page. Don't even read the book. Like, you know what I mean? But I do say, if you don't like a book and, if you paid for it, it's your right to go in there and even just be respectful.
Like I said, it is up to the person. If you want to go leave a review, go ahead. But for me, I will not.
I mean, each their own, because I would want, I don't look at reviews anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I know the type of books that I like. I know the authors that I read. This one that I recently read, it was more of a, let me give it a shot because I already know what it's about. Turns out I didn't know what it was about because nothing was mentioned. Stuff weren't mentioned. But I will say, you can leave your review, but be respectful. And it's your right. You have a right to your own. You shouldn't just be posting positive stuff. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I do agree with, right now, Goodreads, it's a little bit toxic because they're not really focusing on the book. They're focusing on the author. And it's like, the whole point of Goodreads is you're rating a book that you've read. And now if you go in there, you look at reviews and you see, people that haven't even read it, they're rating it a 1-star and leaving reviews. So it defeats the purpose of Goodreads. So
yeah,
I don't agree with that 100%. I think people should be, mindful of how much these authors work to write books. But I also think, if you're being respectful and just saying, this book wasn't my cup of tea because, cheating was involved and the author, didn't add a trigger warning. And that is the reason for my 3-star review. If you say that, it's your right.
Yeah.
Because you're not being mean. It's just, you dislike it. You go in there and you're like, this author is the worst. This is the worst book of my life, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're just being rude. That's not a review. You're not reviewing the book. You're reviewing, like, you're bashing. Like, you're just, how you said earlier, you're taking out your frustration in something that, if you hated it that much, like, stop reading the author.
Yeah.
But that is our take on that. I do think, like you said, life is really crazy right now. We work. The reason I had this question was because of my book that I read. But I do agree, like, people, if you don't like a book, go in there and review it. Just be mindful and be respectful. And please don't rate a book that you haven't even read yet. Yeah. Defeats the purpose of Goodreads. Yeah. But that's our TED Talk for this episode. And, I have never rated a book below 4 stars.
What?
Except one. No, I'm lying. Except one. I did a 1-star and I forgot which book it was. And I know I've told you about it. But I can't remember which one it was. And it was because it was just bad. Like, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. And I didn't finish it. So I left it a 1-star. But that's all I did. 1-star, and I didn't write a review. Yeah. Because it got me, I will say this, like, when I read the book, it got me so heated. So I was like, what? How? Like, it was bad. So I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to put a 1-star and that's it. And that's it. And I don't remember which book it was, but I know I've told you about it.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. That's the only time. But also, I think now we know which authors we love and the types of books that we read. So I think that's why our ratings are so up, because that's who we love. Yeah. And it's funny because, like, you discover so many authors, but you learn to like where to gravitate to, like, which, tropes, authors, writing styles, genres, like, so it's like, your path after reading so many books. Like, what I like, and if I don't like this, then I'm not going to read this. Like, I can't do cheating. I would never ever do a reverse harem or whatever, our age. I won't do cheating. I won't do like love triangles, because I know I'm not gonna put myself in the situation where I'm gonna be rating this a 2-star again.
Yeah. See, like there are times when authors will list it, saying that it is gonna be this, the trigger warning and everything. But there are times when people will just, I'm just gonna read it and see what happens. If I like it, then I'll like it. But if I don't, but then they already know that's gonna happen, and they still go and rate it.
Yeah.
The low star, and you already know that it's gonna happen, yet you go and read it. So see, those are the kind of reviews that I do not agree with.
Well, maybe you were expecting something else.
But it was already listed as a trigger warning.
Well, yeah, if it's listed on the trigger warning, like, you know, if it's like cheating, and then they go in the review and like, this had cheating, blah, 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 you kind of knew it has cheating. Like, I agree. Yeah. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I stay away from Goodreads. I leave my review. That's it. I said I don't check reviews anymore for a book.
I recently went on there,
but
it was to check, I forgot which book's reviews, because I wanted to see if I should read it or not, and I forgot which book it was, and I think it's in my bookshelf, actually. I only read one review, and then I'm like, okay, this doesn't help, and I'm like, I'm annoyed. I'm just gonna read it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not that I'm annoyed with the review. It's like, I'm annoyed because I'm looking for information that I know I won't get until I personally read the book, because I also think like people view things differently when you're reading.
Yeah.
So while some situations might seem bad for someone, maybe they're not that bad for me.
Yeah.
Or maybe the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned, like you said, I don't go by reviews anymore. It's better to enjoy the book as you go.
Yep.
But that is our TED Talk for this episode. And please don't be mad. It was, I've always wanted to talk about bad reviews, and I was very curious. It's good. That's all that we have for this episode. We're narrowing down putting our book box together.
Yeah.
I think we have the swag all done. We are about to order our first samples of the book. Yeah. Just to make sure everything's okay. And then after that, it's just setting up the website, which I started looking into, and it's giving me a headache. But we're pulling through. So, and I think we're still trying to decide when we're going to make them live.
Yeah.
I think we did say that we were going to announce the author next month, right?
Yeah. In April. Maybe either mid-April or at the end of April. But at the same time, it's like, how long will it take for the printing company to send us the book? That is I think that's what's
worrying us a little bit more.
Yeah. Because I've seen tons of authors that waited 2 to 3 months before they even ship out a box.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
Well, because and I think that's what has us very nervous.
Yeah.
We don't want to put a pre-order and then you guys have to wait like 2 to 3 months for you to get the box. Because this is how it's going to go. It's like, we're going to order the books. We're going to send them out to the author to sign. And then from them, the author has to send it to us. And then we're sent out the boxes. So it's like, right now, printing books is very time consuming. Like,
yep. So especially hardcovers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Hardcovers. Seriously, Amazon takes like a month to ship all hardcovers now.
Sav did a story today saying that her shipment that she ordered a couple weeks ago wasn't going to come in until mid-April. From Amazon. I don't know how much from other websites. So
yeah. So
well, we are, we're taking it day by day. We're not rushing into it a lot because I think we're pretty much done with the important stuff. It's more of a, getting the website up which we started working on. It's making sure, the samples are 100% done and perfect before we send out the bulk order. Mm-hmm. And again, like, these are very limited quantities. So make sure you guys keep an eye on that. I'm so excited. I'm dying to show the cover.
Yes.
And the swag piece that we got last week.
Yeah.
So perfect. Mm-hmm. I love it. I'm like dying to post it, but I'm like, no, don't post it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. To us, it's perfect, but we hope you guys will like it.
Yes. But we'll talk about more of that once we get the proofs. After we get the proofs, I think it's more of how fast can we get the website up?
Yeah.
Once we get the proofs, I think we'll announce the author.
Yeah.
And then once we get the website done, we'll show the cover and we'll do the pre-order.
Yeah.
Because I think the website is a little bit more time consuming. So that's fun. It's fun. So we'll dive into that a little bit more later. So yeah, we have author interviews coming up, which I'm so excited about. And then I am gonna try to convince Payne to watch Bridgerton season 2 so we can talk about it. Because I want to talk about it.
You can watch it first and then you can let me know what happened.
What if I like it? Are you gonna watch it?
I don't know.
Like,
you watch a lot of stuff and you said you liked it, but I haven't watched any of those stuff.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. We have to make sure that you watch the season 2. Like, what if you watch it and you end up like loving it? Like, you love the first one.
I have a feeling that
you don't know until you try it.
I have a feeling that if I watch it, I might like it, but I know for a fact that I won't like it as much as the first.
Okay, but that's because you're going with the mindset of Simon.
Girl, it was about Simon.
I know, but what if this time around, like, you end up loving it because...
See, the thing was, I never cared for Anthony. Watching first season, I didn't care. Like, I didn't care for Anthony.
Him, but I was reading, I guess some people have seen it already, and it's an enemies to lovers, slow burn. So we shall see. I'm gonna text you because my plan is to watch it Friday, and then I'll text you so you have Saturday and Sunday to watch it, so that we can talk about it. So we'll see how it goes next week. But anyways, we hope you guys have an amazing week. We hope you guys are reading amazing books. Again, if, like Payne said earlier, if you have any recommendations of a very mean hero, send them our way because I want to read them too. I do love a mean hero. And if you have any questions for us, let us know. Keep an eye on our social media for any updates on the book box, any author interview updates, and just to catch up with us. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.